This is not your typical Bums on a Boat episode, but our typical episodes, living on our sailboat, traveling the world, are totally bizarre when you take a closer look at where we come from and how we grew up.
My name is Joel. 8 years ago, I dedicated myself to building a life on my own terms as a bum on a boat. Today, I'm taking you along as I visit my family and the place I used to call home.
While Joel revisits his childhood, I'm reliving mine, living and working on my family's farm.
What makes two crazy kids with completely different families and childhoods fall in love while sharing the same dream to sail around the world? Can you connect the dots?
Hey Joel, where'd you get the red shiny convertible Lexus? Who out there has siblings? You got a brother or brothers or sisters? I have many brothers and sisters, but I only have one full-blooded brother, and we grew up together and we kind of made a pact. It was an unspoken pact where we decided we were just gonna stick together in life, and we kind of teamed up on everything, including the boat. We both bought the boat together, and then we eventually split ways there at the end, and it was good for us to do that, but still we help each other out when we can. And so when Michael and I come to visit home, Tony actually has this red Lexus sitting in the garage. It's one of his extra cars. Him and Maria, his wife, they are awesome, and they just let us use the Lexus.
As I drive to my hometown of Spokane, Washington, Michael is gearing up for a big day on the farm.
Today is a very exciting day. I just became an auntie to a beautiful baby girl at 8:43 this morning. So I was hanging around the house to get those messages from my mom and my sister. So excited. Mama and baby are both doing so good, and we'll get to see her when they bring her home from the hospital here in a couple days. There's still work to be done on the farm, so I'm here going to do some swathing. We've got some hay to cut. This green stuff behind me is alfalfa. So that's excellent hay for the cows, and yep, now that I've got all the news, there's nothing getting in the way of me doing a little bit of work. It's supposed to be about 100 degrees today, and the AC has been working great so far, so keep your fingers crossed that that keeps working for us, otherwise we're gonna boil. We've got water. Got our trusty sidekick, Lola. That's right. We've got tunes on the phone. And lots of hay to cut. Going along just fine until Dad came and checked on me, and he did a little inspection once I stopped running and found out that the shaft that he's been welding every couple of days running the swather is it's gonna need another couple of welds. So we gotta go get the welding trailer and my ride.
I'll get it fixed.
All right, well, we're here to visit my dad, but I just feel like taking a walk down memory lane, and I thought I'd take you guys with me. Just visit some of the old spots where I grew up and just see what things are like, see what kind of feelings come up, what kind of emotions, what kind of thoughts, what kind of conversations we start to have while we just reminisce and just kind of relive our childhood a little bit. The place looks different, like they kind of painted things and updated it, but also the same. There's a Jeep leaving. I think I'm creeping him out because he's parked in our old parking spot. There with the table thing in front of them, that was where I spent most of my childhood growing up. And this, it was like a townhome. It's an apartment complex, but it wasn't the first place that we moved into. There's another apartment we're gonna check out first. The very first place we moved into when my brother and I and my mom first came to Spokane. We left Denver, Colorado, and I was 8 years old when we moved here. There it is, the second story one right there. Doink, doink. Yeah, it was just a tiny little 2-bedroom apartment, but this complex was really cool as a kid. You can see here I'm on the basketball court. This looks just the same. They probably still haven't put a net there, and it looks like somebody was dunking a little bit too hard on this one and they just left it. But you had a nice big area to play as a kid, and we just used to go crazy out here. We used to play football, had some really epic games, sometimes in the snow. But just this is it. We used to run around here all the time. Back in my day, we didn't play a lot of video games, even though Nintendo was out and PlayStation had just come out. We used to play outside. You know, nowadays, like, these kids are just sitting on their video games all day on the computer or whatever. But you know, you guys know what I'm talking about. You guys used to get outside. We only lived in that little apartment for a bit, and then we upgraded to this. It has an upstairs and a downstairs, and I just saw a family come out of there. So I don't really want to creep them out. We used to do a lot of snowboarding with like plastic snowboards and a lot of sledding. We'd bring like the little saucers, and we'd build jumps, and we'd roll snowballs up here and make really big ramps so we could get more speed. There's a new family in there, but that's it. That's where I spent most of my time. That's where I grew up. We're taking you guys to my high school, and driving on this road, I was just remembering my very first car. I was already 18, so I was just about to graduate when I got my first car. It was a 1985 Nissan 300ZX. And I remember just listening to Kanye West. And this hill especially just brought back that memory of bumping Kanye West way too loud on my way to high school.
All right, we made it back. We got the big old welding portable shop here with all Dad's equipment. Coming back to work on the swather, and whoa! What is this over here? Someone left us a little present. They're still cold even.
Ooh!
That's Whitman County for you, people. So what went wrong here?
Well, I don't know if you can zoom in on that or not. It's way deep in there.
It's pretty dark. There's some welds in there that broke.
There's not actually supposed to be welds in there. No, we're just trying to...
These two pieces are supposed to just be together.
Well, that jib key in there is supposed to hold it on, but...
What happened with the jib key? It just...
Well, the jib key failed, so the outer...
You probably got it where you want it, don't you?
I think so.
I won't twist it.
I can't buy that part,
But you can fix it.
I think, until it breaks all the way.
You've been fixing it.
I've been welding it. But once the end of that shaft breaks off, and it will, because I keep welding on it, then we're done.
Now, Ian, I'm sure you're watching this. Figured you might be interested in the kind of welder my dad is using here. I know you got a big shop of your own. All right, close your eyes if you don't want to go blind.
I found an upside to feeling down when I took a good look up.
Amateur!
Stuff to be learned, body to be turned, it seems. Yes, there is. You got to pay your dues before it's all cookies and cream. Some people want their dinner cooked and served horses where the runaways have a sting.
This is another fine fix that's been holding pretty much the whole season. That was something where I broke it again, and Dad had to come to the rescue, and he did a good job. This piece is holding. The unfortunate part about that piece is when it goes, there's no way to get a replacement part. So this old swather's gonna have to be retired when that day comes. Happy?
It's about 1/8 of an inch out, but it's not contacting the chain.
Right.
So it'll wobble a little bit like it always does,
It's been wobbling.
but it should run. Only got 1,000 more acres cut.
What's your guarantee?
Threshold. Once you cross the threshold, there's no guarantee. She's gonna fire it up and cut.
This is where I spent most of my high school career. Whenever there was any kind of break, I would come here and skateboard with the skater dudes. And on lunch, I would get my lunch and come straight here. And that was it. So I didn't play any sports in high school. What about you? That's a tough one if you're trying to be cool or if you're trying to fit in. I think sports are pretty important there. Also to being involved in the high school. So I was pretty actually uninvolved in high school. I showed up every day though. I rode the bus to school, like I said, until like just about graduated, and then I got my car. But I would just live to come out here and skateboard. Didn't really pay attention in class, and was basically an outcast. We are what we are. I think skateboarding is it's an amazing way to spend your time as a child if you're not in sports, for sure. There's a lot worse things you could be doing. But, you know, it wasn't really encouraged, of course, because they didn't have skateboarding in school. I don't know if they do now. You know, they have skateboarding in the Olympics, X Games, so it's pretty hip thing to do these days. But back then, I don't know, it was maybe frowned upon a bit, but, you know, they allowed it. So high school was intimidating for me. And I just kind of held my breath and went through the day looking forward to getting out on my skateboard. Welcome to Shiloh Hills Elementary School. Curious if you even remember elementary school. What kind of memories come to mind for you? First two that came to mind, the first was stapling my thumb. My friend sat on a stapler and it went right through my thumb and I could see it coming like in the nail on the other end, and that really hurt. So that came to mind. And then the second thing that came to mind was I wore my mom's boyfriend's leather Harley Davidson hat, one of the short bill ones, kind of looks like a Bagger Vance hat, had a chain on it. And I remember wearing it to elementary school, and the kids made fun of me, and it made me cry. And strangely enough, those are the first two memories that came to mind. So kind of sad, I guess, and painful. If I wasn't skateboarding during high school, I was at church here. And before high school, I actually went to school in this basement, this really small middle school. There was like 8 to 10 of us. So yeah, Pentecostal church was pretty much my life growing up. As you can see, there's really no boats. There's no ocean. There is no sailing to speak of in my childhood. There's no traveling. It was a lot of just routine. And something in me said, it's time to go. It's time to get out of here. Can I get an amen? All right, I'm not even sure if my dad's here. I told him I was coming, but the whole walk down memory lane took a while. Guys, I really left a lot out, just covered a few of the highlights, and then time was really getting away from me. So Now we're here and I don't see his car, but we're gonna head up and just see if he's home or see if the kids are home. Pretty sure my dad went somewhere. He couldn't wait around all day.
Oh,
Hey.
shoot. What's up, Joel?
What's up, brother?
What's up?
How you doing, man?
Good. Just got out the shower.
Alright, alright.
What's up?
Bringing the camera in here.
Yeah.
DeMarcus? What's up, dude? Where's Dad at?
Dad just now left real quick, but he's coming right back.
Where'd he go?
He went to go. He's looking for his marriage. He's looking for some marriage license. I think he's going to
Can I
go.
get a hug, man? Good to see you.
How you been?
Good, man.
That's good.
How are you guys doing?
Good.
Haven't brought anyone over here yet, but I was looking at pictures of your mom. So can you just talk a little bit about your mom? Our mom. I mean,
Yeah.
She was a mom to me, but
It doesn't even feel real. Like it's been how many years? Like
8
7.
years,
Yeah,
right?
like 7, 8 years since she passed away. So, I mean, I still like all the pictures around the house. I still see all the pictures of her. Like, I just miss like her smile and I miss like I wish she would have been here to see my younger siblings like DeMarcus and Marissa grow up mostly because I feel like they needed her. I feel like we all needed her, like, for real. But, like, I don't know. I miss her a lot still, but I just feel like it would suck that it was so young that she passed away. Like, whenever she passed away, because I feel like she didn't get to see us grow up.
what's he doing?
Trying to unlock the door.
He's always trying to get out of the house, huh? How many times have you got out of the house, DeMarcus? How many times? How many times have you given
bro.
Dad a
Stop
hard
trying to show out. No, stop trying to show out. Why are you acting like this?
Just got out of the house a few times. One time when I was watching him, gave me a heart attack. My dad came home and DeMarcus had gotten out somehow. He's very sneaky. And it was really scary, running all over the streets trying to find him. And he's probably got out like at least 5 or 6 times. But he keeps things spicy around here, wouldn't you say?
Definitely.
Keeps it interesting.
He was just acting like he couldn't hear me. And it was
What did you do? Go over here in this drawer and get stuff
But
out.
he's just trying to get stuff to break open the window.
What?
Yeah.
To break open the window? Really? Whose key is that? Dante!
Dad, Joel.
He's walking around with the key.
So
Hi.
here's my dad. It's good to be here. I saw that you got 2 guitars there.
Yeah.
Hanging out. Hopefully we'll get to jam out while I visit. That's usually one of the things we do. My dad put a guitar in my hand when I was like probably 3 years old.
Yeah.
And Dante talked a little bit
Yeah.
about growing up without his mom. How has it been for you, raising the kids?
Rough.
Yeah.
Ups and downs. I don't have regrets. It's just been, you have highs and lows, and the kids count on you, so you got to stay diligent.
I'm hoping if there's one thing I get from my dad, it's his attitude. The attitude, no matter what's going on in life, a way to look at things in a positive light,
Yes.
a way to put a smile on your face and to be there for other people despite what you're going through.
Sure. I call it the law of attraction. So if you want negative stuff, then you push negative energy. If you want positive stuff, then you got to think positive, and that's what you're going to draw. And then the other thing is, don't let negative people try to influence your positivity. This blanket was given to us by the organ donor life. I think it's called life. The organ donor, and there's her handprint. It's purple. In March, March 5th to be exact, she was having a bad day, and we didn't know what was wrong with her. By the time we figured out that she was become paralyzed on her right side, was a clear indication that she was suffering from a mild stroke. By the time we got her to the hospital, it was a pretty bad stroke, and They had to do emergency brain surgery that same evening, and then she was pronounced dead March 6th, 2015. And it was devastating. The hardest thing I ever had to do as a man and as a father was try to figure out how I was going to come home and explain to my kids that this time their mother was not coming home from the hospital. And in previous times, she always would fight and overcome obstacles and make it home. But this time she couldn't. She didn't do it. The brain surgery was a failure. Filled up her hemisphere, brain hemisphere of blood, and she didn't survive. And that's where life changed for us. And the kids were pretty young at the time. I think DeMarcus was 6, Marissa was 8, Davion was 10, and Dante was 12. And I'm not sure how old Joe and Tony were back then, but anyway, that's how life evolved, you know, for us.
Standing on your shoulders, that was our move back in the day, right?
Oh yeah, you had good balance. You used to drive your mom crazy. And then one time I dropped you and caught you.
Caught me behind your back, right?
Yeah,
At church?
At church. You would have hit the cement. Your mom would have been mad.
All right, we're going to the Y.
What?
Marcus is riding with me. You ready?
Okay.
What are we gonna do?
Okay.
Whatevs? A little swimming?
Okay.
All right, all right. Oh, all right. Sounds like a plan. All right, I filmed everybody except for Davion. He just kicked my butt in a game of
It was a close game.
one-on-one
It was a close
fight.
game.
Was it?
Yeah, I feel like it was pretty close.
He's
You
being-
still got it.
I'm out of shape, guys. I was breathing real hard.
But for someone who doesn't play basketball, I feel like you did good.
Yeah,
Thanks.
there was a time when I used to beat him.
No, Dad never.
It's like I used to
Dad
beat
never
Joel
beat
at
us.
chess at one time.
Dad never beat me at chess or
I used
basketball.
to beat
Don't
you
listen
at
to him.
chess until you got.
Don't listen to him.
You figured out how to beat me.
That's true. Dad used to beat me in chess. All right, Guadalupe's. Oh, you making Guadalupe get in the back?
She chose to.
Say hi to the camera.
Hi.
This is Davion's beautiful girlfriend. You guys are almost going on a year now, right?
Yep. In 6 days.
Oh, hang on, Davion's.
I'll take it later.
I think is that Davion's friends are trying to get him to go to the gym.
They want me to go to Planet Fitness.
So you hung drywall today.
Yeah.
Basketball, just a little bit,
Yeah.
and now they want to go to the gym.
Yeah.
So can you
That's probably typical though.
So we've been sitting in the car here. I'm dropping him off. What have we been talking about?
Things that a lot of people don't talk about.
Like what? In your own words, because this is a great conversation. though.
I feel like it's like lifting off your veil.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Because there's things even I'm blind to. Everybody's blind to, but you can see it. It's there, but some people choose to see it. Some people choose not to see it. You would be so quick to trade your life with someone else's, but someone would be so quick to trade theirs with yours too.
Mm-hmm. There's so much to be thankful for, and then there's a lot of struggles, though, right? I think we all have struggles. Guadalupe's yawning back here.
Yeah, wait, you
All right.
on too?
I'm tired as
Me
well.
too.
All right, guys. We're putting him to sleep here. We're having the old fogey talk.
Wait, is it on?
Yeah, it's on.
See you guys next time on Bums on the Boat.
Well, I finished up with that field. The swather ran like a bloody top and the welds are still holding, so woohoo, that is a good day. It's kind of interesting. Joel and I talk about it a lot, how coming from this part of the world that we do, Eastern Washington, where it's totally landlocked, there's no ocean in sight. We don't know any sailors or anybody who is in the cruising world before we got into the cruising world ourselves. And yet, that's what we figured out we want to do. I want to sail around the world. It's just so crazy to us how we end up being the ones that want to do it. And I'm not sure what the explanation is, how that happens, how we end up being the ones in our families, even, you know, out of the siblings. His brother lives there in Coeur d'Alene, pretty close to where he grew up. My sister lives here in St. John, where we grew up. And yet Joel and I happen to be the ones that are out there, away from the family most of the time, because we've got that adventurous heart that just needs to explore and see the world and move around. And I guess I've kind of always been that way. I've always liked change. I've always liked traveling. I've always liked moving, seeing new places, doing new things. That's always been part of who I am. But it's just crazy how, with zero background, when I first learned that you could sail around the world and live on a boat, that just sparked something inside of me that I couldn't ignore. And I knew that's what I want to be doing.
These are the tales of Boab.
B-O-A-B, baby, where B-O-A-B, baby, where B-O-A-B, baby, where